Hi, hello everyone. In the last episode, we have discussed about the physical examination of urine. Now, we will discuss in this episode chemical examination of urine. In the urine analysis, biochemical examination plays a key role. In the urine, there are proteins, sugars, ketone bodies, bile salts, and bile pigments, and also blood in the diseased people when compared to the normal persons. The presence of these proteins is considered as proteinuria, and sugars is considered as melituria, and ketone bodies is considered as ketonuria, and presence of bile salts and bile pigments is considered as bilirubinuria, and presence of blood is considered as hematuria. Now we will discuss each one. Proteins in urine. Normally, in urine there will be about 150 milligrams of proteins in a 24 hours urine, or 10 milligrams per 100 ml in a single sample. Proteinuria can be because of pre-renal causes or renal causes or post-renal causes. So pre-renal proteinuria is seen in Addison's disease, fever, eclampsia, hypertension, hemoglobinuria, and rhabdomyolysis. Now, as we are discussing about the proteinuria, here comes a important protein named as Bence-Jones proteins. What are Bence-Jones proteins? These Bence-Jones proteins are nothing but abnormal gamma globulin light chains, which are synthesized by the malignant plasma cells in multiple myeloma, plasmacytoma, and also in Waldenstrom macroglobulinemia. These Bence-Jones proteins' characteristic feature is they precipitate at 60 degrees centigrade, and when heated more get redissolved at 100 degrees centigrade, and then reprecipitates again on cooling the solution. Renal proteinuria is seen in severe muscular exercise and after prolonged standing, and in pyelonephritis, acute glomerulonephritis, and nephrotic syndrome. And post-renal proteinuria is seen in lower urinary tract inflammations and infections, and also tumors or stones in the lower urinary tract. There is a term called as selective proteinuria. In this, low molecular weight proteins like albumin, whose molecular weight is 66,000, and also transferrin, whose molecular weight is 76,000, are selectively excreted through the kidney. Selective proteinuria is seen in all cases of the nephrotic syndrome. That is, all the conditions which are causing nephrotic syndrome, in those cases, there will be selective proteinuria. And non-selective proteinuria, these are seen when high molecular weight proteins like globulin, fibrinogen, in addition to low molecular weight proteins when excreted through kidney. What is microalbuminuria? Urinary albumin excretion will be in between 30 to 300 milligrams per day, and they cannot be detected by using the dipstick methods. Strong predictor of development of diabetic nephropathy is microalbuminuria. So, this microalbuminuria test is used for early detection of diabetic nephropathy. It can be detected 10 to 15 years before the development of this diabetic nephropathy. This is a significant risk marker of cardiovascular diseases also. Diagnostic relevance of microalbuminuria. In diabetic patients for early diagnosis of nephropathy, and in hypertensive patients as indicator of end organ damage. Now coming to test for proteins in urine. The test is named as E10-acetic acid method. Take a long test tube and fill 3/4 of the tube with clear urine. Boil the upper portion of the urine using a flame. Then the lower portion of the tube acts as a control. If proteins, phosphates, or carbonates are present in the urine, then turbidity will develop. If you add 1 to 3 drops of 10% glacial acetic acid, any turbidity due to phosphate, precipitation will clear off. If the precipitate does not disappear, then it is because of albumin. If the precipitate disappears with effervescence, then it is because of carbonates. Interpretation of the heat and acetic acid test. Negative indicates no turbidity or cloudiness. If cloudiness is visible against a black background, then it is termed as traces of proteins present, and it is roughly around 5 milligrams per deciliter. 1 plus is definitive cloudiness without flocculation and granularity, which is around 10 to 30 milligram per deciliter. 2 plus indicates 40 to 100 milligram per deciliter of protein. There is heavy and granular cloudiness without flocculation. 3 plus will indicate 200 to 500 milligrams per deciliter of proteins in the urine, which is seen because of dense opaque cloud with marked flocculation. And 4 plus when the protein after heat and acetic acid method precipitate is thick cloudiness with precipitation is seen. Another test for proteins is sulfosalicylic acid test. If the urine is alkaline, it should be acidified first. Take 2 ml of acidic urine in a test tube and add an equal volume of 20% sulfosalicylic acid. Mix thoroughly the solution. Allow it to stand for 10 minutes and then estimate the amount of turbidity. Absence of cloudiness indicates absence of protein. If turbidity is present or persists after boiling, then it is positive for proteins. Here the interpretation is no cloudiness, negative, barely visible cloudiness, proteins, traces, definite cloud without granular flocculation, 1 plus, heavy and granular cloud without granular flocculation, 2 plus, dense cloud with marked flocculation, 3 plus, cloudiness with precipitation, 4 plus. There is a quantitative estimation test for proteins for which we will take 24 hours urine as the sample. And the quantitative estimation of protein is done by using an instrument called as albunometer, and the process or the method is termed as SBACS method or SBACS albunometer method. Now coming to the chemical examination of urine when there is presence of blood in the urine. Occult blood in urine may be because of red blood cells or hemoglobin. When 5 or more intact red blood cells are seen per high power field, then it is hematuria. What are all the conditions causing hematuria? Again, it is like proteinuria, pre-renal, renal and post-renal. So, here also in the renal causes neoplasms in the kidney, calculi in the kidney, TB kidney, pyelonephritis kidney, hydronephrosis, oxaluria, acute glomerulonephritis, polycystic kidney diseases. And in the post-renal, ureteral calculus, ureter neoplasms, urinary bladder neoplasms, TB in the urinary bladder, cystitis, calculus in the urinary bladder, and BPH and neoplasms of prostate. General causes of hematuria are embolism of kidney from SBE, bacterial endocarditis, malignant hypertension, kidney, and hemophilia. Passage of hemoglobin in urine is hemoglobinuria, and the causes are commonest cause is malaria, black water fever. Second cause is hemolytic streptococcal septicemia, incompatible blood transfusion, and drugs like sulfonamide, phenylhydrazine, and hemoglobinuria is also seen in paroxysmal nocturnal hemoglobinuria. Keep it in mind, if you diagnose a rare thing, you are rarely correct. So, when you are learning something, go with the commonest one. For the causes also, remember the commonest cause because it will be more frequent and the rare causes will be rare. So, if you diagnose the rare cause in a common people or in a common condition, then in a common disease, then you are rarely correct. What is the test for blood is Benzidine test. The principle behind the Benzidine test is the peroxidase activity of hemoglobin will decompose hydrogen peroxide, releasing the nascent oxygen, which will in turn oxidize the benzidine to give blue color to the solution or the precipitate. Reagents used in Benzidine test are solution A or reagent A and reagent B. Reagent A is saturated solution of benzidine in glacial acetic acid and reagent B is hydrogen peroxide. Take 2 ml of urine in a test tube, add 1 to 2 ml of 1% benzidine solution in acetic acid. Shake well, then add 2 ml of hydrogen peroxide. Mix and observe for the change in color. Positive result will be showing green or blue color, which indicates hematuria. Please like, share, subscribe Dr. Ravichandra Official for your betterment. Thank you, thank you, thank you.